Ladies and gentlemen, the Affirmative's plan has reached a conclusion that their plan to legalize prostitution and set up specific areas in which this trade can be performed and regulated under authority using all available safety measures will dramatically reduce sexually transmitted diseases, stimulate the economy, and help regulate the pimp situation. This plan can only be described as impractical, unethical, and undesirable. As for the Affirmative's plan, they say it will decrease sexually transmitted diseases, stimulate the economy, and regulate pimps. The Affirmative plan does not have an effective way to regulate the spread of AIDS or other diseases because of one simple fact. As told by the Department of National Health, it takes at least 1 week to discover transmitted diseases passed on. This means a client or worker with a disease can pass it on to hundreds of people, and the doctors wouldn't even realize it until it's too late. There is also a statement by Rick Valtorez in which he states, since many people prefer to have intercourse without the use of any safety measure, such as condoms, there will be underground transactions in which the client will give money to not have such safety measures. This means that security of routine checkups is not valid. This all leads to one statement made by John Bambenek, a private researcher who works in the Department of National Health. One cannot support the reduction of AIDS infections and support legalizing prostitution at the same time. The Affirmative states that legalizing prostitution will greatly help the economy. Even though the low salaries of the prostitutes will, in a minuscule way, help our nation's economy, but in small advances we gain in our economy, we lose our values our nation has fought so hard for. Our nation promises 3 things to all of its citizens: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Prostitutes are not given life, but have their lives put in danger by the constant threat of violence, sexually transmitted diseases, and the mental damage done to workers. Prostitutes do not have the liberty promised because many of them are forced and cannot find a way out of the thing they have been forced to do for years. Finally, many do not have the pursuit of happiness because they are, in fact, eternally chained to an evil that has plagued them for years and will continue to plague them if the Affirmative gets their way. If these prostitutes were taught other trades, they can produce more money and give back more money than ever with prostitution. As for the Affirmative's third argument, that pimps will disappear when prostitution is legalized, is false. In reality, there will be more pimps than ever before. It's the same for illegal trade. While the business offers a respectable price for a service, there will always be someone else who is willing to provide the service for a less price and in a more convenient way. In any type of business, there is competition, and in prostitutes' case, it will be between the pimps and the ones offering the service the legal way. People looking for an easier, more affordable way to get sex will go to the pimps. And how will the pimps provide workers? By doing the same thing they have done for years: capturing and forcing young women to provide sex in return for their lives. It is inexcusable that instead of stopping prostitution altogether and sparing lives, the Affirmative wishes to make it stronger and lose lives for the sexual gratification of men. In conclusion, the Affirmative's plan has major faults and no good points. Legalizing prostitution will not stop sexually transmitted diseases. It will not help the economy, and the 3 promises of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will not happen. And also, the pimp problem will not stop, but it will increase. We, the Negative, provide a better solution to this problem. By raising money in charities and using available leftover money, we will completely destroy prostitution and arrest the ones behind it. As for the large number of suffering women, we will provide a way out of their despair by setting up government support programs, completely voluntary, that will teach these women a trade that can be used for a respectable and efficient way of making money. And we will support their physical and emotional needs until they are ready to get back on their own 2 feet and walk the path they were meant to walk. And eventually, these women will give back to society in their participation in the workforce, getting more done for companies, and really helping our nation's economy. These women deserve a second chance, and unlike the affirmative, we the negative want to give it to them. Thank you, and vote negative.